Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be playing some fight rigging in Explorer Best of 3. Got Mythic, so now we'll switch to Best of 3. And this is a list I think originally came from Jeff Hoogland, but kind of built around fight rigging. So 3 mana enchantment with Hideaway, so you look at the top 5 cards of your library, you exile a card under it, and then you get to cast that card for free if you meet the condition. So in this case, beginning of your combat, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control a creature with power of 7 or greater, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So what you're trying to cheat into play is like Gulta, or you can cast Tybalt's Side, you can cast the Great Henge, you can cast Omnixilus, and then ultimate it right away. So this deck's really about trying to ult Omnixilus as quick as possible. You have like Rotting Regisaur that can do that, Gulta, Shakedown Heavy, so there's kind of a lot of ways there. And then we're just like a big chonk deck. You have Love Struck, which is 1 mana spell and a 3 mana spell. Bone Crusher Giant, some Valkies, Shakedown Heavy is another big beater, Regisaur, and then the Gultas on the top end, as well as the Great Henge. In the sideboard, Thoughtseize versus like Control, Cage for graveyard decks, some Abrades, some Red Cap Melees, Hitazuku for graveyard hate, Ceratops versus Control. The only thing we might want to see is Weathered Runestone. Non-permanent cards in graveyard and library can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from their graveyard. Non-permanents from graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. So we're going to play this over Cage because Cage doesn't stop Greasefang combo, but this does. So similar effect, but one hits, one doesn't, so we'll give it a shot, see how it goes. Haven't played really any Best of 3 Explorer, so I'm not sure what the meta's like. So we'll give this a shot, see how it plays. We play Best of 1 predominantly. Most of my rank up was with Rakdos Midrange, which I posted. One point was 30 and 8 with the list, but settled around a 63% win rate, and then we finished it off with Historic Mono Red. I think this hand's fine. Opponent's number 91 on the ladder. We're coming in at 1150. It's a bit hot here. So I would love a play on 2. Looks like Control. See what flavor of Control this is. There are creature lines in this deck. There are not. So I think here, let's just go Shakedown Heavy. They could have Disdainful Stroke. The reason being is they have a lot of ways like Portable Hole, stuff like that, to take the token off the battlefield. This gives me something. Okay, so they're going to just exile a card right away, and this Portable Hole. That's fine. Ooh, their Lotus Field combo. I think given that I think we ob and sacrifice here and just get this going. The reason being, they're going to have a harder time dealing with 2 of these. I can make a token to attack with Love Struck. If they sweep me, then I don't get that value. I've drawn just a lot of lands this game. They always have to ferry afterwards, so that's a feature. Yeah, we're not. This first game we're likely not going to win when all we're hitting is lands. We've drawn 1 spell this whole game. Three, 4, 5, 6. So they could activate Hall with a land. It's an interesting decision. Guess that gets the blocker out of the way. So I can do this. Sacrifice this. Actually, I should have just gone face there. Oh, and they killed the wrong one too. Which now means I have 3 obs. Always kill the non-legendary first because it forces, like in this case I get to have 3. Wasn't even paying attention. So just start powering up here. See if I can get him to discard everything. So they have the counter spell. Okay, so they're digging for absorb or veto. So I think we're just going card advantage here. Yeah. With disallow, I can hit any of that activation. So that was actually pretty sweet. So let's bring in the Thoughtseize. Let's bring in the Ceratops. I don't think we want Hidetsugu. I actually don't love Lovestruck Beast. It's pretty easy for them to interact in this matchup with it. I think we trim 1 Ghalta and maybe 1 Llanowar. It's like the weakest of our cards. Let's go from there. We only drew like 3 spells the whole game, but we'll take that. When those 3 spells are Ob, Tybalt. We'll keep this. What you got? What you got? So double to Fairy as well as March. I think we're just doing this. Actually, I should have probably taken the March, but this lets me go Bone Crusher Giant into Ob. So I could follow it up next turn. So I think we go Bone Crusher here. So that gets them some value. I can take both Teferis out of their hand. Which honestly sounds pretty great. Because now they have like a bunch of mana but nothing to do with it, and then I can just Ob next turn. Like they can scry for stuff, but... So they can activate, haul the Storm Giant. They're just doing that now. Tad annoying, but I don't have reach available. They could have the land here. I think we just do this. This protects me from the land here. Then drawing March kind of hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're just on distraction mode. It was right to take the Teferis, I think. Them just drawing double march took us out. Yeah, we're dead. They just have 2 lands in. So maybe the Gultas aren't great. Let's trim it like that. It's a bit difficult because, like, it might have been right to get rid of disallow there. Especially because we had a can't be countered threat. Okay, sounds good. Good density of threats here. And the fact everything we have 2-for-1s. I'm going to do this because if I could take Strict Proctor, it's really good. Or in this case, take Lyra. So we can attack this turn. Do they draw something? I think we just do this for the turn. Kind of puts out the most power. So that's one of the downsides. We don't get to take advantage of that, but Shakedown Heavy is actually really good. I guess the flip side. So let's do this. So I'm going to do this. That's twice they've just drawn March March. Like, their hand was garbage. So they can come in with Wandering Emperor, which we expect. So I'm going to do this, just take that off the battlefield. And then Tybalt, take Lyra again. This opponent's drawn really well. Like, they had 4 lands, they managed to keep all 4. This is why I don't I don't like Love Struck in this matchup. He says as he hits that. Okay, so we have a decision to make. I could kill Teferi by making a 1/1. Lyra comes down. I think we do that. It's going to be a bit difficult to race, but we try. Okay, there is fight rigging. So I think we are playing out Regisaur this turn. And then let this attack Subnixus. I discard this, play Fight Rigging, flip whatever I get off Fight Rigging. This permanent enters the battlefield, so I actually can't do that because of Strict Proctor now. I think it's worth knowing the information. So they could Lotus Field and Teferi, have a lot of mana. And then Memory Deluge to find something else. Frustrating, like how well they've drawn. We're gonna have a hard time getting to 7 mana this game. The fact they do that's also annoying. Oh shit, I forgot to set an upkeep stop. The problem, that's gaining 2 life a turn, so 7. They deluge here. Yeah, we're dead. We dead. I think we want Noxious Grasp or Fry in the sideboard. The red cat melees, we can play Fry, it hits Winota the same. But we had no way to take off like Teferi or stuff like that. And it gives us something to do without the Bone Crusher Giants, which sucked that game. This is just much more flexible. Alright, let's give this another go, see how this plays out. They didn't have Proctor, we could have done Hideaway, find something, trigger it right away. We could have done 2 Obs, but then they have an active Teferi with a Lyra out. They just kept drawing Marches. Playing 342 on the ladder. Well, we need lands. We'll keep this. Put Llanowar back. So this could be fires, it could be control. Is this just all Mythic is? So here I'm just going to put out the power. This is going to be Fires of Invention most likely. Could be Elementals, but more likely than not, it's Fires. So I'm just getting out as much power as possible. Oh, it is. So I can take Bone Crusher. So they still have Fateful Absence for this. So this makes it so that I get a card draw off it. And it also means that they don't have the Fateful Absence for my Ghalta. I can do that, or I can take a card draw. Oh, this always comes into play tapped, actually. So I can Fateful this, which I think we do, because then they need to decide what they want to hit. That puts the most pressure on them, because then they have to hit Ob. I can give them... That's two... Nah, let's do this, because this will make them take 2 damage. Are they able to stomp it in response? Ah, it's good to know. I thought the full spell would resolve there. Forgot this line came to play, so not the tightest play right now, but looks good at least that they're searching for a land. In retrospect, we probably should have done the Bone Crusher. So they could Fateful me, but they're taking some damage there. Go with a Braid. So I'm just going to cash this in for this turn. Just haven't hit this, because now they're going to gain life. It's actually pretty solid. Just kind of upgrade there. We have so many like fatties in the deck. So it's annoying that we're just not hitting any. These Gultas have been real, just awkward. Our turn. Sure. Sure. Also love how the 80 card deck has 2 Expressive, 2 Braids, 2 Fateful Absence in the top 15. And I have drawn nothing but lands? Jesus. We're gonna freaking hardcast this for full value. Again, just like not drawing spells. We're dead at this point. They're just gonna gain a bunch of life. So they're probably a Genesis Ultimatum pile. Fries are good. Ceratops are good. I'll take the Thoughtseize. Weather Runestone's probably also good. Let's get rid of these Lovestruck Beasts. They're garbage. Let's get rid of the Elves. Trim a Gulta. Trim 1 Reggie. Actually, the Bone Crushers are probably worse. Gotta love Just Win. The consistency they get and the crap you get. All right, let's try this out. This is going to be never draw third land. Give me a third land. Third land. Anytime now. This just fixes their mana, also gives them a card draw. And this is what's like frustrating about all this, where we cannot catch a break with opponent drawn removal. So they're doing this to hold up, so they're deciding if they're going to exile, which they do. They missed a line drop, which is also nice. Got full house. So I don't think I have double red in the deck. I don't. So let's put this on. Actually, though, I should probably do this. What you gonna do, opponent? Take 6. Well, Valky here. Doesn't really matter. If only we had one more. I could have taken the thing. I mean, if we could get Tybalt going, it's good. So line drop lets us do that. Let's see what they want to do here. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Because now if they go Gargaroth, I steal it. I can also steal things like Genesis Ultimatum. So they do this main phase. Kidding me? Only lands. Let's take Gargaroth. It's the scariest of the bunch. So we're drawing 3 cards a turn, and we've proceeded to draw lines. We're just not getting a good showing out of this. So I get to exile all graveyards next turn. Seems good. Rather Risen Reef go away. So doing that to stop me from ultimating. We're doing a great job of literally only lands. I gotta remember here to activate my Great Henge on end step. Okay, Omnath. Come on! Gets the mana, escape to the wilds. So they got me on that. Probably the right play was down tick. Or just take the 2. I think though if we can pull off this ultimate, it's worth it. Especially because I can't draw anything other than lines. So we're gonna fry that. Gonna play out Gargaroth. We are going to braid that. Just try to push for this ultimate. So I have Gargs here. They could kind of sort through their hand, but I have access to Braid and Wandering Emperor here. What they discard? Just lands. Cool. Cool. So I think with the density, we might actually want these in. Could want a Braid. I think Galta comes out, as does Reggie. Bring in their Braids. Bring in a couple Llanowar on the play, just to kind of keep up. Seems decent. Do we need the Rune Stone? They might just be like mid-range. Let's try it like that. Hard to know for sure. Like they're not playing an established deck list. It very well could be Genesis Ultimatum. All right, let's try this out. So I like doing this because it lets us know what we need to play around. It's actually a really interesting consideration because their turn is probably expressive. So let's take Omnath here. Because my next turn is Shakedown heavy. If they don't do, because then Chandra has to decide, are they going to kill Shakedown or are they going to kill Valky? They can decide this turn if they want to expressive. Always have it. Problem is they just Chandra here. This kind of presents two threats. I can shake down heavy next turn. That also gives me Ceratops, potentially with haste for a future turn, to attack into the Chandra. They could decide to just go Risen Reef here. So I do want to hold up the Stomp, because this isn't guaranteed to attack Chandra, that's the only thing. So do this. So they can minus on Chandra, but then I can Ceratops and attack it. The minus also just puts it in range that the Devil could kill it. And then I can keep Ceratops on defense. I would love a fight rigging. So they need a land to play Omnath also this turn. So the nice thing is they can't play that land out with Omnath. So I could play out Risen Reef. I could stomp the Risen Reef, attack the Chandra, play another Shakedown Heavy. So doing this pre-combat. Kill that. So we can go Shakedown, or I can go Bone Crusher. Because the Shakedown technically could just be removed from combat. So I think we go Bone Crusher, because just it can guarantee to apply pressure. Problem is, like, every land now gains them a life. And they have 5 cards in hand. So do this first, see what they do. Get the information. Maybe should have attacked first, but I think we just do this. So interesting they're deciding to do that. I guess they can Yorion to hand, blink Yorion, blink the Omnath. They get to draw 2 cards here. And we're just drawing nothing but lands. Should have tapped differently to have 2 green mana up. Okay, it's a good start. I think our goal is to try to ult this ob. This is like another game where I haven't seen the henge, haven't seen fighting rig, which would be great. They're probably more likely to find an answer. See Tolsmir come down. Another frustrating one. Jeez. We've drawn nothing but lands. This is the problem. Like, you have these threats, but like they're all conditional on attacks at times. Now opponents got fables, so they could just make copies of things. So they can attack into all. This is ridiculous. Oh. How many lands are in this deck? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Only 23. So many good cards in our deck. They probably have a Wandering Emperor, so I'm just going to hold off on these attacks. The good thing is they can't Fable, Tolsmir, or any of the legendaries. So this definitely smells like Wandering Emperor. Come in, give first strike. So we're going to double block here. They're being very passive. They could have probably started pushing some damage in. Oh, called their bluff. Can I get a Great Henge? Literally anything. Another Ob would be good. Oh, they just had another one. So we guessed wrong there. Probably dead now. Make another one of these. Thank you. Are you kidding me? What about my deck suggests, hey, you should play Dovin's Veto? We've basically been on a creature-heavy deck the entire time. So dumb. incredibly frustrating. Fight rigging would have hopefully found us something, but now just like haste bone crusher. We're gonna let Ob die. It was right to make the 1/1. We weren't pressuring their life total. I draw all lands. They draw Dovin's Veto. For my creature heavy deck. They're that afraid of Obnixis. In a deck with Fateful Absence, bunch of creatures. Gotta take that off the battlefield now. Because they're gonna make copies of Risen Reef. Just gonna bury me in card advantage. It's an incredibly frustrating set. Just saw like the wrong half problem the entire time, but let me know what you think. I know Jeff had a good success with it, just wasn't really settling for us. Obnix was really good, but too many situational creatures that, you know, you kill the 1/1 for Lovestruck doesn't do enough. But catch you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great one.